Hi, it's Ian here. Should you focus your marketing on getting immediate sales or on building your reputation, your authority, and your brand? It's a question that's perplexed marketers and business owners for centuries, and we're going to explore it and hopefully give you some clarity that you can use yourself in this week's episode of More Clients TV. So, should you be focusing your marketing on getting short-term sales or on building your reputation, your authority, and your brand? Let's get into it. So, focusing on short-term sales for professional services folks like us means doing things like networking. It means tapping in to your existing network and having conversations with potential clients who are in the market right now for services like yours. Could also mean using advertising that again is focused on getting an immediate lead and converting that lead into a sale. Now, the advantage, of course, of that type of marketing, which the pros call sales activation marketing, is that you get an immediate sale. It brings in revenue. The problem is it's a bit of a treadmill. It does not do anything kind of long term. So you do a bit of that marketing, you go networking or you run a Facebook ad, you get a lead, maybe that lead turns into a sale, but then you have to start again. You have to go networking again, you have to run more Facebook ads, and you're on a constant treadmill. So you get immediate influx of revenue, a new client, but you're still stuck on that treadmill. On the other hand, marketing that focuses on building your reputation, brand building marketing essentially, is a much longer investment curve. You don't get an immediate influx of sales because what you're doing is you are writing articles, you're making videos, you're appearing on summits and podcasts, you're writing a book even. So you are not getting immediate sales for that, but you are changing the perception of your potential clients, many of them who aren't in the market right now to buy, but who will be in the future. And you're creating this perception of you as an expert, as someone who can help them, who can solve their problems, so that when they are ready to buy, you're the person that they turn to, at least one of the preferred people that they turn to. Now, done right, brand building marketing has the highest possible ROI because you make that investment, you build a reputation, you build authority, and you're the first person people turn to. And that doesn't decay. That stays over time. That reputation persists. Your books don't go away. Your videos don't go away. Your articles don't go away. So your reputation keeps building based on that initial investment. Of course, you keep topping it up, but it's invest early and then you've got longer term, higher returns. Now, if you had all the money in the world and all the time in the world, you would probably just invest in brand building marketing because of that fantastic return on investment. And you'll know yourself that when we've already built a reputation and someone sees you as the best expert in the field, selling is really simple. They come to you and they already want to buy. But it takes a while to get there, and during that time you are not getting any sales. So most of us in the real world need to get sales. We can't afford to spend 2 years building our brand and then living off that. We need to get sales in the shorter term, in that initial 2 years, which implies that we need to do a mix of sales activation to bring in short-term sales, but that isn't building our reputation long-term, and in parallel building our brand so that sales come in more automatically in the future. Now, what's the right mix for sales activation versus brand building? Well, the researchers Les Binet and Peter Field have done extensive research over a number of years, looking back 20, 30 years, right up until now, and they've concluded that the best ratio of investment generally, and they've looked across a broad range of businesses, not specifically professional services, but my experience is a kind of ratio applies, is about 40% sales activation to 60% brand building brings the best overall returns. So the brand building over time is getting you more and more people seeing you as an expert, as a leader, and someone they want to come to. But in the shorter term, you're getting little spikes, little boosts from the immediate sales activity you're doing. You're going out networking, you're talking to potential clients, you're maybe running some adverts that bring in leads. So 60-40 is overall generally the best ratio to use. So it kind of means for us, for example, if we spend 1 day a week on our marketing, then a couple of hours out of that day you should be spending on conversations with potential clients or reaching out to people who you think are nearly ready to buy and talking to them about that next step of beginning to start to work with you. And 60% of your time should be creating long-term reputation building marketing, like writing an article, like appearing on a summit or a podcast, or even writing a book or creating videos for your YouTube channel, etc. So 60-40, a good ratio generally. But of course, everyone's in a different situation. So if you're a startup, or you don't have a lot of sales currently, if you've got a very short runway, so in other words, the amount of time before the cash in your business that you've got runs out, and that cash could have been built up by previous sales, or if you just started up, it could be your previous savings, or you could have a kind of booked body of work with clients that's confirmed. If that's relatively long, if that's kind of 6 months and above, then you can do that 60-40 ratio. I'd say if it's less than 6 months, if you're beginning to look down the barrel of running out of clients and running out of money, then you need to put more time and effort into sales activation. So increase that ratio and do more of the immediate networking, calling your old contacts. If you do online marketing, ramp up the ads that are going to generate immediate leads for immediate sales. On the other hand, if you've got a really fully booked business and you've got a runway of a year or more, you can afford to kind of step back from more of the sales activation, invest more in your brand building, in building authority, building your reputation by those activities we talked about, writing articles, creating videos, appearing on podcasts, appearing on other people's channels, appearing on summits, writing a book. You can invest more in that, which is going to pay off really big in the long term, and you can make it to the long term without needing to do all the sales activation because you've got, fully booked book of business, or you've got plenty of cash to survive on until then. You still do some sales activation, but you can ramp that down and ramp up the brand building. So that's the kind of the summary of what to look at. Look at your runway. How long have I got before I run out of money, basically? If it's 6 months or more, then you can do the 60-40 that Beanie and Field recommend. If it's less than 6 months, you need to do more immediate sales type work. And if it's really long, if it's a year, 2 years, and you're kind of coasting and safe, invest more in brand building for the long term, in building your reputation and building your authority. And we'll be doing some videos on how you can do that fairly soon. Cheers.